American Craftsman Podcast is proud to partner with Montana Brand Tools. The West was built by people with strength and great pride in their workmanship. It was a necessity that early settlers of Montana have a strong will, a resilient character, and great determination to tame the rugged landscape while adapting to its dramatic climate. That spirit, made in the USA pride and craftsmanship, is alive today, both in how Montana Brand tools are manufactured and how they perform. Montana Brand power tool accessories are manufactured utilizing proprietary, state-of-the-art CNC machining equipment and the highest quality materials available. Montana Brand tools are guaranteed for life to be free of defects in material and workmanship because we build these tools with pride and determination. Montana Brand tools are manufactured by Rocky Mountain Twist, located in Ronan, Montana. Montana Brand's heritage comes from a long line of innovative power tool accessories. Use coupon code American Craftsman for 10% off your order at montanabrandtools.com.
Here we are, episode 52, the 1-year anniversary.
Memories.
Sans Beer Vision. Beer Vision's not working.
Oh, well. It's always some kind of technical difficulty.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Lots of difficulties.
Just think, back to that first week.
Yeah, man. 52 weeks ago.
Yeah. How many episodes did we do at Deadwood?
15-ish. Well, yeah, he kind of missed a couple there. Maybe episode 20 was where. Let me see. I could tell you by looking at the thumbnails on YouTube.
Yeah,
I want to say like around episode 11 is when Deadwood got his limb cut off.
Manny got his branch trimmed.
Yeah, Manny came in on that episode. Let's see. Greene Street Joinery YouTube, your channel, videos. Looks like 25, 23. Looks like 16 was the last one.
Wow.
The Festivus Spectacular. What an awkward and bizarre moment that was.
Yeah. Oh,
this
boy.
ringing a bell?
Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could smell death hanging in the air.
Yeah, we would cut it with a knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 16, 15, 14, no there. 13.
So he was here for a good dozen shows.
Yeah. Well, here is...
He was present. His physical presence.
Yeah. The physical manifestation was there.
Yeah, so it's been the dynamic duo for...
40, basically 40 episodes.
Can you imagine we got that much to talk about?
They haven't even scraped the surface yet.
And this is the PG version.
Wait till we see how deep we get on this new format we got coming up.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Should we talk about that at all?
Yeah, we should.
I guess let's do beer of the week and then
let's get some lubricant.
Yeah, so Beer Vision's down. But so this beer right here, you notice
that looks like it's handmade.
It's completely unlabeled. I don't know what the hell that was on there. I made this beer.
Really?
I made this January 1st, 2012.
Wow.
And I've been hanging on to it for 9.5 years. This made it through Hurricane Sandy. Literally was in the house. I recovered it. So yeah, I've had this for a long time. I've been saving it for something. I figured this is good. I didn't drink it when I got married. I didn't drink it when I had a kid. But we're
running out of stuff to celebrate.
Those seemed like maybe too special for this, but
yeah,
this is just the right caliber of event for this beer. So this, you see, it's got some bubbles in it. This is probably going to be very flat.
Yeah.
This is a bourbon barrel porter with, I aged it on oak staves.
Nice.
With Maker's Mark bourbon. It was pretty strong. I don't know what it is now, but we'll see. I'm not gonna pour out the whole thing because it might not even be very good.
And where'd you make it?
I made it in my house.
Wow. So you were like a home brewer.
Yeah. There goes the phone turned on. I can smell the bourbon.
Yeah. Wow, that's dark.
Here, we'll go just to the logo for now.
Wow, look at the color on that. That's chocolatey. That's like the color of espresso.
It seems to have more bubbles than I thought. But it was never very carbonated. So this, made this 10 years ago. Cheers.
Cheers to you. And to all you out there.
There goes my second phone just turned on, and it still gets text messages and everything going off like crazy. Not bad.
Yeah.
Kind of lacks a lot of flavor. Let me turn this thing off.
Nice.
Bourbon barrel porter. I still taste some of the bourbon.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's definitely a little boozy, but not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad for a homebrew. What do you say we do tool of the week, and then we can we got those out of the way.
Yeah, so it's been it's quite almost like Christmas, as you said the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday evening, we got in the mail our vacuum, our long-awaited Makita cordless vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call it? The LXT or something like that?
LXT is what they call the cordless line.
Right, but you can plug this vacuum in.
Right.
And it's cute. It's like a little crock-pot sized
it's small.
vacuum. But man, this is why it's tool of the week. Now we got it for the van so that we could, if you're in somebody's house,
clean up, put on the tools.
Right. It comes with this floor sweeper attachment that is better than the one. We have a Miele vacuum in the house.
Yep.
It's better than that.
Yeah, it's sucked down to the mats.
Right. Now with the batteries, running on 2 batteries, it's whisper quiet,
mm-hmm.
and it's still cleaned off the mats in the shop nobody's business. With the plug, with the 110, you had a hard time pushing it.
Yeah, it was actually moving the mat around.
Yeah. This thing is awesome.
Probably about half the decibel, well, maybe not half, 2/3 the decibels as the Festool CT15.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we easily could talk over it.
Yeah, where the Festool is quiet compared to like a Rigid or something like that, but way louder than this Makita.
Yeah, so it winds up being, for me, way better than expected.
Mm-hmm.
Really light. Pick it up with one hand, not cumbersome at all, and just totally perfect for the task of, stowing in the van and bringing it into somebody's home. Where
being cordless and corded, we bought the light. That's the same thing. That way, those are 2 things that use a significant amount of battery, but typically you have a plug.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like this commercial job we just wrapped up, you run into a job where there's no power at all. It's either you lug the generator with you, or you're trying to steal power off somebody's extension cord, which who wants to do that?
Yeah, both these take 2 batteries. By the way.
Yeah, they're the 36 volt Makita calls it.
Yeah,
not to be confused with their 40 volt, which is those are singular batteries. But yeah, I mean, super convenient.
Yeah, really, really nice.
You have a bunch of those. You have the miter saw, the track saw, the vacuum, the light now, that all take the 2 batteries.
Yeah. And, I mean, the sticker price on it, you might be a little shocked by it, but it comes with 2 hoses, 2 really nice hoses, that full-on, like, janitorial caliber floor sweep.
Yeah, aluminum or, I guess, aluminum, aluminum arm. Even, like, I had the Festool cleaning kit, not the super expensive one, but the one that was, like, only, like, $100.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all plasticky, and like, you feel like you can't push down because it's going to bend. It bends the whole plastic thing. This is 2 pieces, aluminum, big, heavy-duty floor attachment. Even the crevice tool is longer and seems like better plastic.
Comes with also 2 like hose attachments to fit different types of tools.
Yep. Yeah, one that's like a 35 millimeter or whatever it is, the same as the Festool stuff. Mm-hmm. And another that's even smaller, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I wonder if that fits in like the planer or something like that.
The planer fits a 35, but it probably fits in like an orbital sander. Like the non-Festool orbital sanders have those really small dust ports.
Oh, yeah. You know what it reminds me of? I had that old Makita belt sander.
Yeah.
It looks like that size where the bag fits on.
Like a 7/8 or something.
Yeah. I knew it looked familiar. But if you're in the market for something like that, you can't go wrong. Mm-hmm. You really can't go wrong.
Yeah, we bought a new open box on eBay. I think we paid $450.
Yeah. You know what else is cool? I love the big paddle switch on the top.
Yeah.
You can sort of tap it with your foot or just reach down and give it a smack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice fact.
Yeah. So you're going to superimpose a picture of it.
Yeah, I'll get a couple of shots, and then, as always, there'll be a link in the description.
Because I brought a piece of the box along. I was going to use it as a prop.
Yeah, we can, with this camera, we can even barely see ourselves.
I know.
Potato vision.
So there you go.
Yeah, Makita, something or another. Forget the model. DC something 40.
What do they call it?
Well, you might as well hold it up now, and we'll see if we can.
Let's see what we can see.
XCV04Z, I think. It's up in that corner.
Yeah, you can kind of see it if it tilted back like that.
XCV04Z.
That floor sweep is the business.
It looks like a toy, like a kid's toy.
It does. And it's small. It's tiny, but it comes with, several bags.
It's only about 14 inches off the ground, maybe. It is very small.
But it's no toy.
I mean, we're not going to make that much dust on one job, typically. So, mostly it's going to be just for like cleaning up. Mm-hmm. Maybe a couple scribes with a planer or a couple cuts with the miter saw. But,
I mean,
it's a HEPA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we love to keep the workplace clean, especially when you're in somebody's house. Mm-hmm. Roll back the carpets, cover everything up. But this is just in case we make some extra dust.
Oh, yeah. Always better to vacuum than sweep.
Yeah.
Sweeping just makes more of a mess. Yeah, so I guess, should we talk about what we're planning for the podcast, or do we know well enough to divulge information yet?
We have a framework.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll hold off then. We'll just keep this as our 52 retrospective.
Yeah. I guess we could just jump into the new format. There doesn't need to be a
no big announcement.
No, because what the hell?
Yeah.
You're going to listen or you're not.
Exactly.
So we're not telling you. You'll see next episode. I think we're going to take next week off, get our shit in order.
Yeah.
And then we'll start with we'll call it season 2, episode 1.
Yeah. Dancing girls.
We're going to have them here?
Yeah. Live from...
Have to come in through the back so my in-laws don't see.
From Sin City. That's the surprise. We're going to pump up the viewership.
Yeah, on the YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll get demonetized real quick. So we got a couple questions this week. I didn't ask for questions because I figured we'd be talking and we have some podcast memories.
Mm-hmm.
Got some of those from some folks as well. I guess here we go. This one's from Nick Trayer on Instagram. What have you learned now that you've been doing this for 1 year?
Wow.
You talking about woodworking?
Yeah. He's probably talking about the podcast and I guess in general. I can still remember you suggesting that we could do a podcast and me thinking, what?
What is a podcast?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I knew what a podcast was because I'd seen a few like people giving guitar lessons and things like that. But I didn't think that I had much to offer in the field, and certainly not thinking that we would do an episode a week for a whole year.
Yeah.
And we had some marathon sessions too.
Oh yeah, the episode with Manny. I mean, and a couple with John Peters that were 3+ hours long.
Yeah.
You start tacking on the Patreon. I mean, we sat with Manny from we used to start, I think, around 12 o'clock then. 12 o'clock till 6 o'clock at night or something.
Yeah, those were long.
I do have to give credit, though, to Alex, and I forget the other dude's name. The podcast was their idea.
Yeah. Was that the guys from Hamburger Patties?
Yeah. They the guys that do Big Mike's social media stuff. Alex Nichols and his name Charlie?
I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither. Charlie. Mark. Alex and Mark? Yeah.
You could be telling me their names and I wouldn't know.
They came. We had them come to the shop. We wanted to talk about, maybe they could help us out with the social media. Maybe come in, shoot some content and stuff because it takes us away from our work. Trying to even just take pictures. You get out of the working mindset, because we don't look at each step as like we're working towards the final product. Like
right.
Granted, we step back and appreciate our own work sometimes when we're in the thick of it, but most of the time we're just working. So it's not second nature to be like, oh, wait, I should document this. So we were looking to maybe have them come in and help us out with that. But they were saying, Alex said, you guys really, what you should do is start a podcast. And he even said, he's like, 6 months, a year from now, whatever, like you're not going to see any real effect until, it's like you're playing a long game with that. So, I mean, we did heed his advice and tried it out.
Yeah, so I was surprised we were able to talk for an hour the first time.
I wasn't.
I thought it was going to be like 15 minutes.
No, they call that like a micro podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, you said, no, it's got to be at least an hour. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that was after the first one. Like, guys were like, man, we went for an hour? We got to try and pare that down. I'm like, no, that's like, people listen to Joe Rogan. He goes like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah. So what have we learned?
Well, I certainly had to learn how to use a camera, how to do the audio, how to put it on YouTube, put it on the podcast thing.
Yeah, a lot of technical stuff.
Yeah.
I learned that there are people interested in just listening to a couple of guys like us just talk about woodworking. That kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
And I guess because I never really thought about, like, we listen to music all day long. I suppose if you're working by yourself, sitting at a desk or in the shop by yourself, there's only so much you can, listen to entertain yourself throughout the day. Have some kind of like background noise.
You have a commute.
Right. And I never thought about substituting a podcast for that medium in any way, like music, book on tape or something like that.
Right.
So it's not like, I was always thinking like talk radio or something was the format, but it doesn't have to be quite that engaging, I suppose, because a lot of people are just kind of listening to it while they're doing something else.
Yeah. Yeah, but with radio, that's definitely the case.
Yeah.
Not many people are sitting like in a chair at home, like, I'm going to pop on the radio.
Right.
So, it is. I think it is similar to like a talk radio show, where people are definitely, I feel like I keep hearing things upstairs. People are actively listening, but they may be, engaged in some sort of other activity at the time.
And I guess you could rewind it if you miss something.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's, even though we record it live, it's delayed. It's uploaded and then.
Yeah, nobody hears this truly live.
Yeah. The other thing I learned was that there are a bunch of people out there that are in the same boat as us. Mm-hmm. Doing their thing, trying to fight the good fight, do quality work, compete with all these larger, factory kind of production facilities and even people that are just
hacks.
Yeah. So we have a little bit of a community.
It's
people from all over the world. That was the thing that used to blow my mind originally.
Yeah, looking at the charts and seeing, we're consistently ranking in Canada, England, Norway. We have people listening in, I forget, it was like 30, 40 countries.
Yeah, and the Australian listeners.
Yeah, we have quite a few. Yeah, Australia is in, I think, maybe third behind Canada.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And being able to connect. So I guess that's about it.
Yeah.
And we got these comfy chairs.
Mm-hmm. Although the set doesn't look as...
it's not as shoppy as it
once was.
Yeah, but it's nice for us because...
Yeah, it was a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, setting up in the shop was really, really... It became an ordeal in a way, setting up and then breaking down.
Yeah, it turned this from 12 o'clock to a 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we were going late every single episode, basically.
Yeah. And we were having guests back then. So that really stretches out the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. There's only so many people locally, and, we kind of need to know the person. Like, you can't just bring on a complete stranger.
No, we're not like Johnny Carson able to interview somebody.
No. Yeah, and he's got a whole team of people behind doing,
Yes.
like, oh, this is a person who people know. Let's find out about whatever.
Yeah.
If you're just some guy that we've never met, it's going to be tough to sit down and talk for an hour, potentially.
We could still have Tommy G on one of these days.
Oh, yeah. We know Tommy G.
And because that's going to be a long day. We're going to have to pack a lunch for that episode.
That might have to be multiple. Maybe we'll see one of these subjects that we're looking at for season 2. He fits in there. Man, you must like that.
Yeah, not bad.
Me, I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
So this is one's. We make lots of jokes. With all the jokes about Woodpecker, Bridge City, etc., and their overpriced products, I'm not sure if you guys have suggested an alternative for some of their products. Oh, yeah, I think so. What products or brands would you recommend for a good set of layout tools, specifically squares in the 12 to 36-inch range that are accurate for woodworking and not just rough carpentry? Thanks. Keep up the pod. That's from Nick, one of our loyal patrons.
So brands that we've suggested, Starrett, of course, PEC, Products Engineering Corporation. I think that's what it stands for. On the cheaper side, have some eye gauging stuff.
Eye gauge, yeah.
None of their squares. but I have, heard from a lot of people and people that I do respect that they have their squares and that they're accurate. I mean, honestly, I can never see myself using a 36-inch square.
Yeah, that's big.
I know there's people that are. Maybe they just have a different workflow or, I mean, it's one of those things that you don't necessarily need, but you want. That's fine. I mean, a framing square. Go to the store and bring it to the plywood area and bring a pencil and find yourself a square framing square.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's square enough where your line, you can't tell that the line is off, then that's pretty damn square. It's square enough for
square
woodworking.
Enough. Have you ever tried?
We're not building like puzzle, pieces of furniture with secret compartments, and I mean, so what works for us may not work for you, but I think a good framing square that's a multitasker.
Yeah. Have you ever tried fixing a framing square with any of those old tricks where you hit the corner and stuff like that?
I've heard about it. I've never tried it because it's so cheap that when it's not square, you just get rid of it, get a new one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like the eye gauge and the PEC, and PEC is pretty. They're not cheap, but quite reasonable.
Yeah, I mean they're probably 2/3 the price of Starrett.
Right. So right off the bat, there you go. Mm-hmm. You can find those things all over the internet.
Yeah, especially the blemished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those are inexpensive, totally effective.
Mm-hmm.
Not as pretty as all the polished aluminum stuff, but
right.
They're equally as good as far as doing the task.
Yeah, and if I don't know, if you're using that many squares, maybe reevaluate what you're using them for, and if there's another way to do it.
Yeah, Lee Valley makes some stuff that we use that's pretty inexpensive, smaller squares. We use that for that wide bladed.
Veritas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you need to square something across 36 inches, you might have a square reference somewhere else, and this is like a measuring tape and a straight edge kind of situation.
Yeah.
Or you could always just use, Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, that we start getting into math there.
Seems like a lot of layout tools keep around.
I think one of the things that Woodpecker did was made the collecting and display of these tools part of the thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I would say, without much hesitation, nobody needs that many layout tools.
No.
Because one or two is really going to do the job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I used a framing square today to draw some lines across to mark the center of plywood to put screws. I used the double square to mark 3/8 to find the center of plywood, but I can't remember the last time I've needed one of these hyper specific kind of layout tools, like the things with the holes in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I just don't. I can't think of a time where I needed that.
No. Now, we make furniture and some cabinets and things like that, and I don't know what other people are doing that they need all those things. Maybe there's something that they make that they need. That would be the interesting thing to hear. It's like, why do you need so many squares?
Yeah, like a 36-inch square. What kind of reference surface does it? It's you still only have a 6-inch reference surface.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like one of those sheetrock frame.
Those are only 4 feet.
Right, but the blade is 4 feet. But then, what would you call the T part of it?
Yeah, that's only 16 inches.
Yeah.
Well, 16 and then whatever.
So
4 on the other 20 inches.
That's the question. there's probably the want aspect and the need aspect that are
Yeah, that money's better spent somewhere else.
right, like on a table saw
Or a blade, a new blade, a new whatever, block plane or something, a chisel.
All right, so there you go, Nick. I don't know, where's Nick from?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but generally speaking, all the brands we talked about are available everywhere. Even if he's in Europe or.
Oh yeah. These
he's in America.
Type of tools are.
Okay.
Got one here from Colin. Speaking of Australians.
Yeah, Beaver Badger.
Have you used or plan to use any recycled timbers or repurpose any, i.e. charcuterie boards, into something else? Who's asking, are we going to take charcuterie boards and turn them into something else?
What, like a trivet?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost, yeah. The only thing I could think of.
Coaster.
Firewood?
Yeah. I've yet to be invited to a party that had charcuterie.
Well, you don't eat charcuterie, so.
Yeah, but I would sample. In fact, because I don't really eat meat, right? You know that. But Andrea came home from Cousin Maria's on Sunday with 4 meatballs. And I quickly ate 2.
Oh, man.
Then I saved 2 and had them the next day.
No wonder you looked like that on Monday. I thought you were a little off.
Yeah. They were smooth going down, though.
Yeah.
You have a pretty strict regimen. You know what it's like when you fall off the wagon.
Yeah. And then you get that guilt.
Yes.
Then you feel like garbage.
But, if there was a nice charcuterie display, I might, pick around the edges there.
Pate, mortadella.
Yeah, so either I just don't know the right people, or I'm not on the A list. I don't know what the thing is.
No, charcuterie's been downgraded to like the E list. Here's the thing: all these you see people like put up pictures like, oh, charcuterie platter. It's not even charcuterie.
Yeah,
if you got cheese and grapes, that's not charcuterie.
No.
Look up the word charcuterie.
Yeah.
Let's look what the definition is.
Yeah. Meat. Yeah. Of
course, when you put it in, charcuterie board is the first thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Charcuterie. Cold cooked meats collectively.
There you go.
That's it. Or a store selling cold cooked meats. Not cold cooked. Cold cooked meats.
Right. Yeah.
And then you have this, like, from Natasha's Kitchen, whoever the hell that is. What should be on a charcuterie platter? To make a charcuterie board, arrange things so they are easy to grab. Fan out the slices of cheese, cut grapes into small segments. Who cuts grapes?
First off, we just learned that
there's no cheeses or grapes.
Or grapes.
Cheeses, meats, pickled items. Pickles are fine. Condiments and spreads, fresh fruit, nuts and extras. Arrange crackers and toasts in remaining spaces or serve them in a separate platter. And she's got a video.
I wonder how many charcuterie boards she owns.
She might be the one buying them all. This just the same old story. You got people giving advice who have no idea what they're talking about.
No.
I want to know the origins of this misappropriation of the charcuterie board.
Oh, must go to like Pinterest or
it's a cheese board,
Instagram or something like that.
A crudité.
Oh man, how much crudité have you served?
Look
in
at this
lifetime?
charcuterie board. It's got broccoli, cauliflower, carrot sticks,
and some
celery.
rolled up ham.
Yeah, no, you're lucky if they even have that. It's a Lunchable.
So we haven't used any recycled timbers, have we?
Well, you have.
Yeah, I have, but
well, I have too a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, back in the last century. Oh no, it was this century. At the early part of the century.
This millennium.
Right, I went out to like Washington, New Jersey, to a mill out there.
Whew. The burp on that beer is, it's hot.
Yeah. And picked out a couple of big logs, and I've worked them. That's when I got that scraper plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking I was going to level some boards. You know, I was hearkening back to my timber framing days. Thought I was going to level off a...
Yeah, you needed a scrub plane, not a scraper plane.
I know. I didn't know.
I'm going to scrape this baby flat.
Yeah.
Let me just stop and put a hook on this thing every 2 minutes.
Yeah. So I made a bench, like just a seat, and I made a bookcase out of like two big, slabs held together. And this kind of segues into what's coming up with these iron straps that I had a blacksmith make.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
We did that kitchen out of that pine, reclaimed pine.
That's right. The pine from Newark.
Yeah.
Newark comes back. It's like 300-year-old pine beams that were sawn off into boards. And that was Larry Hutt did that for me.
Bastard.
Good old Larry Hutt.
He's another one on the shit list.
So
stick to selling cars, Larry.
Back in the old days, there was this company called Eastern Hardwoods, and Larry Hutt was the guy who ran it. And he was from New York in his olden days, so he kind of would reminisce about New York and everything. And he would bring me wood from this huge wood processing mill that he had. And he did mostly flooring and decking and things like that. But on his way home, he had one of those pickups that kind of looked like a car. Well, not like a car, but remember it had like those long flared sides that came off of the back of the cab. It was like a Chevy made them.
An El Camino?
Yeah, it was kind of like an El Camino, except a modern version, and it was more like a truck with like a little short bed on it and stuff.
Oh, like a SS, like a Chevy SS?
Yeah, something
kind of bubbly looking.
Yeah, he had something like that, and he used to pile up the wood in his truck and bring it to me, and he told me about that wood, and he said, yeah, I'm taking these beams down, and you want me to saw up some of this lumber for? I said, yeah. And I wound up going into this house that was built in the 1700s. They wanted a kitchen, and they were kind of an odd couple, and they never let me back in the house. They were real secretive, and I wanted to get back in there to take pictures after it was all done, but they were always
too busy.
Yeah, find an excuse why I couldn't come back.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Try again next week.
So I never got really good pictures of that job. But Larry Hutt, when we were trying to find a lumber supply before we found O'Shea, we hunted down Larry Hutt.
Yeah.
He was selling Audis, and he said, yeah, I'm going to hook you up. Don't worry about it. Let me call you right back. That was the last we ever heard of Larry Hutt.
He should just not call back.
Right. So, anyway, we have used some. The thing is, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And then you got to go through and make sure there's no nails and things like that. In fact, that's why there's a chip in the bed of the jointer.
Yeah.
Right. That from that pine, that old pine. There was a piece of metal buried in there.
That's what happens. Computer dies, I unmute it, and then now I'm getting, I got to unsubscribe.
Now you got nut meals.
This is what I do during the podcast. I unsubscribe from the emails that show up.
So, we're open as far as planning to use it. Somebody...
If the money's green.
Yeah, somebody wants it, we'll source it, and we'll design it and build it.
Mm-hmm.
It's typically not something that people in this area are looking for.
Not the ones with the budgets to work with us.
Right. If somebody wants something...
like a pallet wood, there's pallet wood people.
Right. There's the barn door that's basically face nailed scraps of wood onto a piece of plywood. That's the kind of rustic furniture that people around here want. It's sort of like a low budget.
Yeah, like it's a DIY kind of thing.
Yes.
Not where you would pay somebody to actually make it.
Right.
It's like something you did on like a Saturday and a Sunday in your garage.
Right, like the pine kitchen I did was all raised panel doors, solid wood, did the grain matching and all that stuff like you usually do.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool, but I left in all of those
nail holes,
rusting and all those holes, and I even left more like maker's marks in the furniture as I was building it more than usual, kind of lend to that look. So yeah, if you got any plans, send them over,
Colin.
Yeah.
Colin's always out there. He's like, hey, I'm going to cut down these beefwood trees. They have all these trees I'd never even heard of.
Oh, what did we just get? Bonewood.
Bonewood, yeah.
Yeah, somebody sent us a bunch of plans.
Yeah, with their budget.
Yeah, it was like, minuscule, wouldn't even describe their budget.
Can you do this for 1/10 or 20% of what it costs, and that's for the whole thing?
Yeah. And then they spec'd out all this expensive material, and then bonewood was one of the woods they wanted. Which,
I don't think they even knew what the hell bonewood was.
Right. We had to look it up, find out where we could find it. It's an Australian tree, basically.
Yeah, and you can find it nowhere.
And
we want this obscure. We had a very tight budget, but we want this obscure wood that you can't find.
Yeah,
and it's also a complicated design.
Yeah, and they probably don't grow very large, so that makes it even harder. So Colin probably knows what bonewood is.
He's probably sitting on 500 board feet of it.
Yeah. That was our entertainment for the past week. Trying to deal with.
I just had to break the news to him this morning that the material costs more than their budget.
Yeah,
and that there's no cheaper material.
And these are, like, put air quotes, professional designers.
I want to say, what I wanted to say was, where the hell did you come up with this budget?
Mm-hmm.
What came first, the design or the budget?
Yeah. What happened is they spent all the rest of the money elsewhere, and their budget is whatever's left because they couldn't find anybody to build this stuff.
And the client already paid them because they said, okay, this is what we're going to give you, and this is how much it costs. And they spent all the money on chairs and mirrors and tile, and now, we got 10.
They spent 90 of the 100, and there's only 10 left. That's where they got the budget.
There's probably 15 left. They still want to cash in an extra
That's
5.
true. So we answered our own question there.
When we tell you it's 50, and that's like that's a good price. And you tell us the budget's 10.
Right. We were worried we were going to be able to make out okay at 50.
Yeah. They're like, we haven't found anybody who can value engineer it. No, that's not value engineering. That's magic. You need a magician.
Right. Because the drawings in some instances were really good, like a professional had drawn them up. But there were so many gaping holes in vital information that we couldn't get answers on. So we were a little bit concerned about,
I need 1,800 feet worth of wall covering.
Yeah.
Like wall panels on the walls, 1,800 square feet. Okay, well, that stuff is at the cheapest. Let's call it $2 a square foot.
Right.
How are we going to do that? That's 6,400 right there.
Yeah.
Or, 30. No, it must have been 3,600.
Yeah.
Or 3,200 square feet, sorry.
Yeah.
6,400 just in that. Now we got to cut it all, edge band it all, hang it up on the wall, and that's just one aspect of the entire job.
Yeah.
So there's your 10,000 plus some.
And they spec'd, there was this, it was in a
file drawer.
Yeah, for an office building entry. And they spec'd this melamine product that was $5.50 a square foot.
They're like, we could do wood and stain if it's cheaper. What planet are you living on? I prefer laminate, but if wood and stain is cheaper, we can go with that.
Yeah. I'd like some drawer boxes that are just nailed together, but if you can do the dovetails for the same price.
Yeah, or if the dovetails are cheaper than a butt joint.
Yeah, that was...
I like Sapili, but if teak is cheaper...
What were we talking about?
I don't even know.
Have you planned to use any recycled timbers?
Oh, yeah. No, we haven't planned. We don't really plan anything.
Plan anything, do we?
Let the clients do the planning.
All right, you want to read this next one?
Yeah, this one coming in from our buddy Manny. Always with these deep questions.
He's a deep thinker, that Manny.
What is the biggest change you've seen and felt since teaming up together, business-wise, and doing the podcast? From Manny, 2 Manny Mistakes on Instagram.
I'll tell you, the biggest change I felt is in the way business is procured.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just kind of started on a wing and a prayer, and it was, it's still kind of word of mouth. That's the common thread.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, it was more people would see a sign in the front yard, or then it became the website. The website was the big thing back then.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a website, you were cutting edge.
Wow, this guy's got a website.
He must be
a real deal.
pro.
He's got a TikTok?
And so then there's like the 2 years that I was off.
Mm-hmm.
When we were meeting over there at the Long Branch Saloon. And
the bread factory.
Yeah, then we came back here, and I could start to see the changes taking place. Like Instagram. You introduced me to Instagram. I didn't even really know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what a powerful mechanism it was going to be. Because that's really it. I mean, that's what drives kind of the what would you call it? Our brand.
Yeah, it's like the first. I don't know what a good word for it is. It's like the first contact a lot of times for people. They see us there, or they see somebody who we've worked with repost something, and that's how people find us a lot of times.
Yeah, that's a whole new world for me, because not only is it a change in the way business is done, it's a change in my world view in a sense. Like, here's this invention that came along that I didn't know existed, and now it's a necessary part of doing business.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would talk to other people that are like my generation that have been in business and see if they feel the same way. Like, this is really kind of like turning your world view on its end.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you had an established business, it's not as necessary. But if you're starting a new business, it could be a catalyst for growth and success.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty exciting too, though, that like the prospects of it when we were just learning. That's how we met John Peters, and there were other people we talked to. It's like, oh wow, they got a million followers. How does that happen? What do you do? And so that's really, I would say, is the biggest change for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, I think maybe Manny was getting more at due to teaming up together and the podcast, what have we seen change? I was going to say, I used to be so ashamed of what I had to do. I mean, it boils all down to that. Over at the other shop, I mean, that's just so ashamed and disgusted by, the things that we were made to do. And now I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah, there is a certain amount of satisfaction in being able to tell people what you do and then direct them, because a lot of times people just take it with a grain of salt. Oh, you're you're a carpenter or something.
He
you
makes
know,
cornhole boards.
right? And then you show, check us out on Instagram, whatever. Then they're like sort of
Like, oh wow,
wow, I didn't know people did this.
yeah, yeah.
And you know what else? If we go back, if I backtrack and go to the teaming up part, it's so nice to work with another person that is gonna just carry their load.
Yeah.
Doing everything yourself is hard. It's just, you're gonna have off days. You're gonna get burnt out. You just wear down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have another person around just to mentally take that load off the top.
Yeah, even if it's like partially placebo.
That's right.
Because there's
right.
always, with two people, there's double the workload. So
right.
really,
and we're each doing our own bit of worrying.
yeah, oh yeah.
But you're right. It is
It's
bit
more
of
just
placebo.
like a placebo, like leaning on. You always have someone to say, "Well, does this look right?" Or,
what do you think?
yeah, should we do this? Do this instead of that.
And to know that if something happens that you can't do something, I can't go to work today, or I need to do this. There you have your partner to catch you if you slip off the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
It
fall
is
down the ramp at the Hard Rock Hotel.
At the hooker convention.
Yeah.
That's in the memory department. Yeah. Memories.
Oh, Lord.
Oh. Yeah. So, Manny. Manny's going to have to come up to the meet with us.
The Catskill Mountain Makers Camp.
Yeah.
That we'll be going to in a month.
Yep.
From tomorrow.
We just decided we were going to go just the other day.
Yesterday. Booked our tickets, and we'll be going.
When I told my wife this morning that we were going to be gone for a couple days, she wasn't upset at all.
Mine either. She tried to tag along at first.
Yeah. My wife says, "Oh, yeah, when you leaving?"
Let me write that down.
She did. She put it right on her calendar. Yeah. So Manny's going to probably be coming up there with us. I'm working on it.
Yeah, we're going to try everything in our power to get him up there.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why he's not going to join us.
It'd be good. Be a good event for Manny. It's going to be a good event for us.
Yeah. Get him some exposure.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of blacksmith thing.
Yeah.
A little bit of
hobnobbing.
Yeah, jabberjawing.
All right. So that's it, Manny. Thank you for that question.
Mm-hmm.
And I see we're coming up to podcast memories.
Yeah, so we asked you guys for some of your favorite memories of the podcast. We got a couple here that people wrote in. I guess we'll read them and then we'll give any comment that we may have. First one's from Marcelo MF Cozy, COSI on Instagram. I think he's in Brazil, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
How you guys met? That's one of his favorite memories.
Yeah, on the job.
Yeah.
I remember meeting Jeff, and he had the music on. I said, "Oh, that's a nice change of pace." Had that great Festool shop job site radio going, and Jeff was living free and easy. He wasn't working for Tom at that time.
Well, it wasn't as free and easy as it seems, but
yeah,
definitely freer and easier.
He had not been lured into the hornet's nest.
No, yeah, it was a couple years before, maybe two years prior.
Yeah, and Rich, who was the installer, he was working. What was the name of that job? Began with a D. Don Chick.
I just had it.
Lou's screaming it out right now.
Yeah, I lost it.
He's screaming into the...
Oh, man.
It was like kind of like one of those Czech sounding names.
Yeah, shit.
Danchek?
I'll get it.
All right. So when I was tagging along to help out with the delivery of this kitchen. Docking. There you go. And specifically to go look at like these fireplace installations, like these mantle installations.
With the tile that was already up.
Yeah, and that was my first introduction to working with the designer Lindsay, and like none of the math added up. I mean, it was like way off. And then when I was like really just trying, I didn't even come off snarky or anything. Maybe I do, just as my general way. But I tried to be as delicate as possible, pointing out, trying to get information so we could build these things, right?
Okay, yeah, let's get this.
Let's get the parameters set here. And when I was showing her that, she was so condescending. Like
she's like, I'm used to Tom just fucking it up, and then he figures it out. He cuts the extra 18 inches off.
And then I went back to the shop. I was like, this woman doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. I don't know how she became a designer, and I don't know who's hiring her.
Gets like out of the back of a magazine, like a personal trainer.
Yeah, on a matchbook cover. So she was walking around there like
that's a dated reference.
Yeah, she was walking around that job like she knew what she was doing, and it was like, sorry, woman. Anyway, that's where we met, and then I went on my hiatus to build the kitchen that Tom didn't want to build.
Yep. And
you got hired in the meantime.
Yep. Yeah, I got hired with no discussion with Lou or anybody. Hey, we got a new guy.
There's a new guy. So when it came time for me to go back to Tom's, Lou was like, "Come on, come back. We got a new guy. You're gonna like him. He's good." Like, I don't know. And sure enough, I did like him because here we are.
Yeah, 2 years later.
Yeah, we hit it off. We had common bond in our impatience for Tom.
Yeah, the two main spearheads of the attempted coup.
That's right. That's right.
A coup for your own good.
There were many a frustrated afternoon spent trying to figure out how to fix things over there.
Oh yeah.
And all the while, I had my shop just sort of, getting cobwebs in it.
Yeah.
And we talked about maybe, doing something. And push came to shove one day when Tom said, they got some good news and some bad news.
Yeah. You're going to give the next couple weeks off. You're going on a winter break.
Yeah. Tom told me to take a winter break of 2 weeks, and then he never called me back.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of forced to go back to work for myself.
He must have gotten a new phone and lost your number.
Yeah, that's it. I wonder how Tom remembers that episode.
I think Tom remembers what he did this morning.
Yeah. So, I know one thing you could probably add to it. When we started with the Instagram, that's when you introduced me to Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
And you were making my Instagram page.
Yeah, I was the Barone Woodwork Instagram.
That's right.
I'm like, email me all the pictures that you have. And that is what is now the Greene Street Joinery.
Those
Instagram.
were the seeds.
Yeah. I think that might have been even before you got.
That was before I got canned.
Yeah. We were scheming.
Those were the seeds. Jeff
that's a level of shame we had from what we had to do.
Jeff had plans.
Yeah.
If I could get this thing up and running,
I could be proud to go to work again. Yeah.
What do you remember?
What, about getting started?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was working at Dockin, doing something, And you came to, do something with the Manos, and we hit it off immediately. We were talking about all kinds of shit. You were telling me how you lived in San Francisco and were a chef. And then I remember you were there working with Rich, and Rich was like totally unfriendly. It was like a totally different dynamic, like from the first day Rich came on to because like I was the gatekeeper on the job.
Yeah.
Project manager wasn't there. I was the next guy. So you come to the job, I'm saying, oh, who are you and what are you here to do? You know what I mean? And Rich was totally...
he didn't have a very welcoming personality, did he?
No, the complete opposite. Very standoffish and insecure is probably the most appropriate word. Yeah.
The one thing I remember about working on that job is they had me putting in the base cabinet for the sink base cabinet, and whoever the electrician was on that job, there were all these exposed wires, which they were all live. They didn't close down any of the circuits.
Could have been somebody down there at the panel, but yeah, should have wire nuts on those things.
A melted pair of...
No, you know what it was? Probably Tom. Oh, wait, was it capped?
No.
Yeah, Tom was probably in there messing around or something.
Probably.
And took the wire. He probably pocketed
took the wire nuts off.
I'm taking these home. Taking these back to the shop.
Probably.
I just saved 1 cent.
It was a screwdriver, I think. And I like when you melt it, that's what happened. It's like, whoa, what the hell?
Free wire nuts.
Somebody shut these things down. What the?
Oh, I'm going to help those guys out before they get here today. I'm going to take the wire nuts off so it's easier to get the cabinet on top.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's the kind of dumb shit that Tom does.
Oh man. Yeah, that was it. That was the beginning, docking. That was a nice place. I'd love to go back and see that place.
Yeah.
All finished and decorated and everything.
Yeah, I was in there. I mean, it's nice.
Had that crazy driveway.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I spent a lot of weeks at that house. Weeks and weeks and weeks.
Woo. And then, I remember when I met Rich.
Mm-hmm.
I was working on that hair cutting place in the Highlands.
Evolution Salon.
Evolution.
Atlantic.
Yeah. And I was helping him out. Because I didn't go out on installations that much.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're lucky. I think it's bad in the shop.
Yeah.
The installations is where all the problems go to die. You just send it. Send it out.
And I remember meeting Rich, but I didn't quite remember him because the second time I went and met him, some months had passed, and I wasn't sure it was the same guy.
Oh,
because I didn't really remember him that well. And everybody would tell me how disgruntled he was, but he was always, pretty cool with me. He was, I guess, on his best behavior, or maybe we just got along a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't as disgruntled, but I would hear the stories.
I can imagine.
And the best part was, I guess I could be easily swayed too. I'd be working with Rich, and he would be telling me his side of the story, and I'd hear this whole long thing about what's not right coming to his end. Then I'd go back to work in the shop, and I'd hear the other side of the story, and I didn't know what was true.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, now we know. Because I didn't know either side well enough. I would listen to one, go, oh, that's fucked up. And
you didn't know the hustle yet.
Right, I didn't. So did you not meet Rich until you started working with him here?
No, I met him at docking because
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But after that, you more or less replaced him at Tom's, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So,
yeah, and like I said, he was so standoffish that we never I mean, I try and shoot the shit with anybody on a job site.
Oh,
we gotta
yeah.
work together. We gotta communicate.
That's the whole thing. I mean, you want the whole goal is to finish the job to the best of everybody's ability, so the client's happy, so that everybody gets out of there on time. If the paint is coming in, you don't want to have the electrician dragging their wires through the house and scratching up the walls and that's how we met. I could kind of see like one of those Seinfeld episodes happening in my mind. A
dream sequence.
Yeah. So Freddie, period craftsman on Instagram, he remembers when we were doing the podcast when we were driving, and the lady who didn't know how to drive.
Yeah, my only question is which one.
Yeah, that's too vague.
Yeah, that was a good episode. I think that was a funny setting for the podcast.
Yeah,
definitely not logistically easy, but I could see with the van now. We had built like a little center console.
Oh yeah,
with a couple mic stands.
Yeah, that was all right.
Take the show on the road.
We might do another mobile podcast.
Yeah, maybe up at the Blackthorn.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see. I don't know. Well, I wouldn't have to upload it till we get back here.
Yeah.
But I could definitely shoot it. Maybe we could line a couple people up.
Oh, that would be cool. We could shoot several episodes worth.
Yeah. I don't know how much downtime there's going to be, but maybe we could
like
do
in
it
the
at
evening,
night.
yeah.
Once everybody gets all tuned up.
Yeah, around the campfire.
Yeah. Rubio Monaco wants feedback on a recent purchase. Dismiss.
Yeah, we wanted more colors. We wanted more of those other colors.
Yeah, they have a 40 color sample kit, but they have like 60 colors or something.
Yeah, well, what's that about?
That's what your $220 gets you.
I know. It's not cheap. Yeah, I remember driving up there and you having to be on your best behavior there on mic. You guys should hear Jeff on a normal drive up to Newark.
It's not me though; it's them. That's the thing. I'm in 100% in the right.
Jeff likes to get in there, put that cruise control on, and then, just hope for the best.
Just drive. I just want to drive. I don't want you getting in my lane, going slower than you were.
Oh, that's
going
always
slower
the
than
best.
me.
And we have decent drivers from the sound of things. People describe the drivers in their areas. But yeah, that's a good memory.
I got one here from Jafet, one of our patrons, Jafet Hernandez on Instagram. Rob getting sued for a squeaky bed.
Yes. One of my low lights. That was a.
I forgot all about that. That was a funny one.
This is the kicker. This couple who sued me, they were old friends of my wife's before I met them. So much so that when I married my wife, we got married in their home.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
We were married in their home.
See, you owed them something.
And
that's what it is. You owed them.
This whole thing, was done as they paid me, but it was, that friends and family rate. And every time I went over there, oh, Rob, can you hang these blinds up? Oh, Rob,
you did have your wedding here, Rob.
Oh, Rob, can you run this cable through this cabinet, Rob? And I was like, oh, my God. And I would come back and tell my wife, she's like, please, just do it. Just do it. Then the husband turns around and sues me because the bed squeaks. Oh, man. And then to go to small claims court and everything, and the judge was even mock him. The judge goes, do you want the young man to pay for lunch too while he's at it?
It would have been like a good Judge Judy.
Yeah. So, you know, justice did not prevail. Although I did get them to sign a thing where they could never contact me if I agreed to a settlement amount, which was about $1,100 or something like that. That they had to go on their own merry way, and basically like a restraining order type thing,
like an NDA, kind of like, all right, this is the
this
case.
is it.
We're closing the file on this one.
You can't
talk about it. You can't.
They can't call me. They can't write me. They have to stay away from me. That must be Rufus scratching.
Yeah.
So the way I looked at it, it was money well spent, because as the people in the court, that was the other thing. The court attorney, the judge, all like the paras in the court, they all felt sorry for me. Like, this guy's an asshole.
Dismiss the case.
And so they said, you know, this guy's, it looks like he does this for a living. He's a professional at this. This won't be the last time you hear from him.
Yeah, that's bringing back memories of a certain client that we had.
Oh, yeah.
This table was supposed to have walnut accents. And, send the email. Then they disappeared forever.
Yeah. So it was money well spent.
Is there any way we can get rid of the orange smell? You mean the smell of the finish that we told you about? That you came to the shop and I held it under your face?
Yeah.
How about this? We'll come in and spray paint all over your thing, and then we'll see how you like that smell.
Yeah, there are people that's just how they go about things. And off camera, I could elaborate even further.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it's been smooth sailing ever since.
Yeah.
And it'll teach you a lesson to do work for people that, you know, where it's not like on a completely business level.
Yeah. It's don't miss business and pleasure.
Yeah.
Mix. Did I say?
Yeah.
Mix. Do not mix them.
All right. So, have to say the meetup, even though it's not a podcast moment, it was nice meeting everyone. That's a podcast memory from Brian, Gray Point Woodworks on Instagram.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was.
Brian posted the picture of the glass this morning. He said it's his wife's favorite glass. I wish he would have taken more.
Ah, yeah. Is Brian going to be up at the Makers?
I don't know.
That's where we should bring those glasses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We give them away.
Yeah, give them out. I know somebody who I'd really like to give one.
What we can do is, if we do the podcast and you come on, like we'll have to give everybody like a 5-minute or 10-minute time slot or something, and they could take a glass.
Yeah, a little like parting gift.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when they go on those talk shows like Oprah and stuff, they get little gift bags.
We'll like fill it with liquor and we'll make them like drink it before they.
There you go. That'll loosen them up. Yeah. What are some memories from the meetup? Well, we had CT Woodwork and Bob, the track inspector, traveling all the way from Patchogue, Long Island.
Yeah, that's a hike.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, they get the long distance award.
Yeah.
In that summer traffic too.
I know. There's like a gnat or something flying around in here.
Yeah, it's all my wife's plants. We got all these fruit flies.
Oh, fruit fly. That's what it is.
She's been trying to grow Venus flytraps. It's not working.
Yeah. I mean, we had the Belford Brewery.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice in and of itself.
Yeah, that's a cool place.
Yeah, we should go back there one of these evenings and hang out. They were the locals. Manny, Lou. You know, it's always a good excuse to get together. We don't see those guys nearly enough. Yeah.
We got to drag Lou up to the Maker's Camp.
Oh, yeah.
Him swinging that blacksmithing hammer.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. At first, I was looking a little sideways at you when you
It's a good thing I was driving.
broached that idea. I was thinking maybe we should go up to that. Who's in this car with me?
Doing a 180.
Yeah. So faces to names. That's the makers thing will be like that too. And that's what I remember at the podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
The meetup. So that was very cool. What was weird about the podcast meetup? Now, people, they all listen to us.
Right.
So they kind of know things about us and things we've said where we don't have the same advantage, so to speak. So it was a little weird.
Yeah, it is a little bizarre. It's always weird when you meet someone that you know from social media. Like even, I had talked to most of the people at the thing, because I run the Instagram and stuff. So like I've talked to most of those guys anyway. So I know like a little bit, like at least I've had a conversation, but it's always weird when you meet someone in real life who you only know through social media.
That's like the people I met through social media, like Keith, John Peters, the other Keith. So the two Keiths, 2-Bit and Blackthorn. Because now I've met them several times, I don't think of them as
they're just friends. Yeah,
they're guys now. The social media thing I don't even recognize. And it'll be the same thing. And like next time I run into CT, because we spent so much time talking.
Yeah, it was like met Shane from Shane Fay.
Yeah,
and I mean I followed Shane on my personal Instagram account since probably 2014 or something.
Yeah,
and I know we've talked a couple times and talked to him now in a group with him and some other guys. And it was the first time that we ever met. So it's just weird. Like,
right.
Like here's somebody that I've known of for like, the better part of 10 years. And then you meet somebody in person. Even with John for the first time. Like I talked to John for years before we ever met in person. We were always trying to link up to do something. And it never worked out. And then finally when we met, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, we hit it off right away too.
Yeah.
You know who I'm looking forward to meeting is Matt.
Matt Viz, yeah.
Yeah, because I hear his voice on Clubhouse, and it's one of the voices I recognize instantly. And it's funny because it's going to be the same kind of thing. Like I listen, I know he's got the shop underway, all these things. He did all that work around the house.
Yep.
Building the garden. So it's like I know a certain aspect of him and his life.
Yeah.
So he's going to be up at the Makers thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Now, this next question, is this who I think they're referring to? So whatever happened to Instagram's most handsome carpenter? That's from Anonymous.
Yeah, I don't know who wrote that in, but it was a total blank avatar on Instagram.
Are they referring to Deadwood?
No way. They're talking about Tim from True Trade.
Oh.
He actually won the award.
He did.
For Instagram's most handsome carpenter.
So where is he?
He's like a traveling man these days, bouncing from shop to shop, working on his own shop.
Wow.
Yeah, working everywhere between here and DC. We got our next question, not even question, next memory from Dave here, Blugerson on Instagram. On the episode about being prepared for on-site install, bring an extra mantle.
Do you remember that?
No, I was racking my brain if we said that or if Dave is making a reference to one of his own installs.
Could it be Kylie Mantle's job or?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's so, like we shoot this thing and then that's it. It's gone. It's out of the head. And I mean, I might catch a couple minutes when I'm doing editing, but we've said so many things that I have no recollection of whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've watched movies. I couldn't tell you a stitch about them.
That was what was funny about the meetup too, the podcast meetup. People saying, "Yeah, remember when you said that?" I'm like, no.
It's not ringing a bell.
Bring an extra mantle.
That's good advice.
Yes. Yeah, we like to bring lots of stuff, and that's why we're outfitting the van.
Yeah.
The van's got, so far, we got the little job site saw.
Mm-hmm.
We got our big sustainer filled with all, like, the Makita battery tools.
Mm-hmm.
We got your miter saw in there.
Yep.
We're going to have all the assortment of hand tools when we get them. They're on the way.
Yeah, they should have been here today, but...
Yeah. Everything's delayed because of the weekend, I noticed, the holiday weekend.
And there was that bad weather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which we got more rain coming tomorrow.
We each got new fancy drill boxes.
Yep.
And a new screw box with all those nice labels on them.
Yeah, well, that was supposed to be his new screw box, but Festool doesn't make a screw tray yet for the new sustainers. So it's in old. It's a combination of old and new.
Yeah. What else? Oh, we got the racking tie-down system we've yet to put in.
Yeah.
We got the light and the vacuum, the newest things we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's making, packing out and back in so much easier.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what the hell we were talking about.
Yeah, see, what were we talking about?
Being prepared.
Yeah, being prepared. Packing out the extra stuff,
Bring
the extra
an
mantle.
extra mantle.
So that's probably the one thing we won't be able to do.
Yeah, there'd be no room for a mantle by the time we're done.
Yeah, the van fills up fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. I got another one here from Freddie. I think this is probably the magnum opus of the whole.
Oh, yeah.
It's the most popular episode that we've done so far, episode 33, Blue Machine Blues. Oliver was a moment for sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I do think it is the episode with the most downloads.
That was really an unfortunate lemon, that machine.
Yeah.
I would love to know what really happened with that machine we sent back.
They probably sold it to some other
unsuspecting person who didn't realize that it wasn't working well.
Yeah.
And figured that's just as good as it gets. Now, the Powermatic, on the other hand, has worked flawlessly. So, yeah, Oliver kicked us to the curb.
No, I take it back. It's actually episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th. Try and guess the episodes, the top 5.
One with John Peters.
Yeah, it's number 3.
Okay.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah. I knew he would be in one of them. How about...
we did 2 episodes with John Peters. The second one's not even in the top 10.
Oh, that's hard to believe.
He's the... well, I won't say that.
Narrow it down. Do they have guests, the top 2?
The one of them does.
Is that Wild Willie?
Wild Willie is number 2. Now, that episode went to total shit. The audio was horrible. So I don't know if maybe people just downloaded it and didn't listen, or they stuck it out. I think that means that we got to try and get Wild Willie out here.
Yeah, yeah. So number 1 is Sans Guest. Let's see.
I mean, if you think about it logically, it's an easy one.
Oh. Our first episode?
Yeah. Because I guess that's where people start.
Yeah.
And then number 4 is episode 6, Improving Yourself.
Well, that sounds like a Deadwood.
Number 6, episode 30, Culta Festool. Number 7, episode 26, with Instagram's most handsome carpenter, Tim Beardsley from True Carpentry. Number 8, episode 21, Shop Upgrades. Number 9. Take a guess.
Manny.
Episode 11 with our good friend Manny. Feed the Hunger. And number 10, episode 14, Not My Job.
I like that title.
Yeah.
I mean, we ran into that today. Who were you on the phone with? And they were like, you're calling around.
Oh, the police station to get my passport.
Yeah.
I'm like, they transferred me to you. And you don't know what the hell I'm talking about?
No, not my job, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Dick. Creeping up on 35,000 downloads.
Yeah. Yeah, we had our moments with Oliver. We thought we were building something.
Yeah.
Then they sent us a bad machine.
Yep.
And then they kind of screwed us.
Yeah, they definitely screwed us.
So, there you go.
What's next? It's our last and final moment from our buddy Keith, Blackthorn Concepts on Instagram. It's the podcast as a whole. You keep us all honest about the craft and got me to try and level up.
Well,
I think
that's, Keith.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's what we would hope that people get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
We try and be honest, and I think it's kept us honest also.
Oh yeah,
because we're always questioning sort of the way we're more. I think we're more open to other ideas now that we've done the podcast.
Yeah,
like things in the past where we would have said, we're not doing a melamine job. Well, now we think, well, it's had us examine. I think the company as a whole,
right?
Like what we can and can't do, and what it means for us.
Right, we're not putting a melamine dining room table in somebody's house.
No,
we're working in a commercial setting where it's the appropriate material,
right?
And we still go to as great lengths to make it as nice as possible, make it as durable as possible.
Yeah, we're not hanging up the aprons to work with melamine full time, but
no.
Is it wrong for us to take that job? No, it's another job.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and we look forward to maybe getting some more commercial work.
Yeah,
it's a different skill set, different mindset.
Yeah.
So, meeting Keith was one of the highlights of this whole podcast thing.
Yeah,
he's helped us out and work-wise with the CNC stuff.
Yeah,
and he's a very cool guy.
Yeah, check out Keith's podcast, Working Hands Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
So that pretty much does. That wraps up.
Yeah,
a whole year's worth of podcasts.
Wow. Season 1 in the books.
Yeah. We'll be coming at you with a slightly altered format.
Uh-huh. Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We need a week to get ourselves together.
Are we going to still do Beer of the Week?
We're going to have to figure out the logistics of that.
Yeah.
With the new
yeah, we might want to give that a rest and
yeah.
Bring it back as a like we brought back Gripe of the Week.
Yeah.
It's like a highlight.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll do coffee.
Yeah.
We got the Technovorm upstairs.
Oh. Yeah. And teas in the winter months.
Yeah. I know Viz would be all about the coffee.
Yeah. I know. Oh, man, what are we going to do when we go up to Maker's Camp?
What, for coffee?
Yeah.
Well, I got that little kettle that I had in Vegas. I'm going to have to bring that.
I mean, is there going to be electricity in these cabins?
Yeah, I think there's electricity, yeah. And you get breakfast every morning.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want their coffee.
Well, who knows? It might be good.
All right. I got to take precautions.
You have all the milk you can drink.
Yeah. I'm going to have, with the wife not hovering over me, I'm going to have milk and cereal for lunch and breakfast.
No lunch is provided.
Oh. What are we going to do for lunch?
Yeah. I don't know. I was confused about that. They're like, breakfast and dinner are served daily. I'm like, what about lunch?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to bring groceries in or something, or snacks.
Yeah, I don't know. Have to put it in a bear box.
Oh, yeah. We got to find out if there's refrigerators.
I think you can rent one.
Rent a refrigerator?
We'll just bring a fucking fridge.
Yeah,
bring the one in the
shop.
hand truck will wheel it into the room. What are they going to say? Take that fridge, take it home?
Yeah, let's remember that. That's a good idea. We're going to bring the fridge.
Crock pot.
Coffee. We're going to bring a coffee pot, aren't we?
I could bring the Technivorm.
I mean,
we're going to have a whole Sprinter van.
Yeah.
To fill that baby up.
I don't see why not.
Put a couch in the back.
Bring these 2 chairs and we'll do our podcast.
That's not a bad idea. We could do the podcast from the van. No power, though.
We got the battery light. We can.
That's true. Anyway, we're not going to inundate you guys with all these ideas.
Just
we got to thank the gold tier patrons and give the thoughts on the beer of the week. Jerry Greenan, David Murphy, Manny Sirianni, Dustin Fair, Adam Podhast, David Shoemaker, Colin Lai, Keith Drennan, and Corey Ty. Thanks, guys.
Oh, thank you very much for keeping this thing running.
Yeah, and before we do beer of the week, it's been a year. If you listen to the podcast, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I don't know if you can leave them on Spotify. Somewhere, throw us a bone, and it'll help out the podcast if you like it. And if you don't like it, if you have a critique, leave that there too.
Yeah. Feedback. It's all good.
Send us your questions, all that good stuff.
All right. Thoughts on the beer?
It was okay.
It was weighty.
It's too much for me. Too much bourbon.
That's what I would say. Yeah, it was.
It's
that
exactly
half a
what
glass
I was expecting.
Was enough.
Yeah, that's why I haven't opened it, because I knew that was the one that I had left over. I brewed 5 gallons. It was just, I knew it was going to be exactly like that. And it's just too much. It's too much bourbon for me. And not enough anything else. Like, it smells like bourbon.
Yeah, I would probably, in a little while, could have another half a glass or something like that. But to drink a whole thing, that's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just straight bourbon in there. Well, anyway.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll see the patrons in the Patreon after show. If you're interested in that, click the link in the description. You can find out how you can join the Patreon.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks. If you're looking for an episode and we're not around, try catching up on one of your favorites.
Yeah, or go listen to Keith's podcast.
Yeah.
Working Hands podcast.
Working Hands.
Well,
that's it.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.